Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing another one from the Allagash Brewery of Portland, Maine. And today it's one of their classic brews, their Allagash White. This is from their 12-ounce container. They also put this in a larger, I think 22 fluid ounce corked top container. But sometimes if you just want to have that sort of a little touch of beer that's not quite as big as that, go for the 12-ounce. And Allagash has made a name for itself by brewing beers that are inspired by Belgian recipes. They have really had a lot of success in that area, and that's primarily what you find when you buy something from Allagash. So this being a white beer, it probably should be kind of hazy and kind of zesty with that sort of lemon zesty thing, and maybe a little on the spicy side. That's how a typical white beer should be. Now, you might not even know this, and maybe you do, but you know, Allagash years ago, Allagash has been around for a long time, and they actually used to put out the standard pint glass containers. This one is dated 1999. What do you think? Should I pour a white beer into this? I'm hearing a lot of people saying, no, no, no. Okay, oh well. Then I guess I'll go with the old standard Allagash glass, the kind of glass you like to put a white beer in. Let's take the cap off. Oh, by the way, the ABV on this is 5.2%. Now let's take the cap off. Goodness gracious. Okay, a little bit of a nice bit of aroma I can notice actually from here. And now let's pour it right into the Allagash glass that I have. Okay. Now they actually have a description as to how to pour this beer. You're not supposed to pour the whole thing out all at once. You're supposed to kind of pour most of it out, then swirl it around just a little bit, and then pour the rest of it, because there's usually some yeast kicking around the bottle. And that may well be the case. Definitely coming up with a kind of a cloudy, really hazy, cloudy, you know, yellow tone, a pale yellow tone, with not a whole lot of head, but that just might be the way I poured it anyway. But still, you know, you can almost see the little cloudy sediment pieces floating around inside of the glass itself. Let's give it a whiff. One thing that they say about this particular brew that they make, they say they brew this with wheat. And that is definitely what I get on the first whiff. It's a lot of wheat on the nose, maybe a little bit of yeast in the background, which I also notice as well. I don't notice much in the way of spice or zestiness, maybe just a hint of it, but it's primarily the wheat and maybe a little bit of yeast is what I'm getting in the aroma. Let's give it a taste. Pretty good body. Nice heavy-duty body, which I like a good body on a beer. Not thin or watered down or anything like that. Now, the taste has a nice kind of sour tart element going on. Absolutely, the wheat is noticeable. It's actually quite clear in this. Kind of a mild maltiness going on. But really the yeast also kind of comes into the picture a little bit. You notice it in the background a bit. Just adds that kind of creaminess that you get when you have a good yeasty beer. I wouldn't call it very sweet. There's kind of a nice thin hoppiness on the tail end. But I know that Allagash puts you know, yeast and candied sugar during the brewing process, toward the end of their brewing process, when they make this particular one. I don't really notice the real sugariness, but it's clear that I can pick up the yeast and the wheat, and that actually to me is something I actually like in a beer. You know, I'd rather pick up the yeast and the wheat and those kind of interesting tastes more than the sweet bitterness that you get in other types of beers. Not much in the way of lemon zest. A light spiciness, but nothing that really jumps out at me. Still, it's actually a pretty good beer. You know, Allagash has had a history of putting out some really nice beers, and this one is no exception. So that's it for today. This is their Allagash White Beer, one of their standard brews, one that's available in many places, even outside of New England. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.